This is the DJI Mavic Air. It's a drone that came out 2.5 years ago, doesn't have the latest version of OcuSync, doesn't have HDR, has a controller that might seem like it's more convenient, but is actually a much bigger hassle when it comes to the thumbsticks. And despite all that, I think this is the absolute best drone for beginners in 2021. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? My name is Bobby Kawecki, and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, what's up? How are you? I do videos like this each and every week on photo stuff, video stuff, and all that content creation YouTube goodness. So if that's something you're into, and if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button down below so you never miss out when I post a new video. So the DJI Mavic Air. I love this drone. Full stop, there you go. And I love it for a couple reasons. The first of which is its form factor. So let's start there, let's talk about that. It is super small compared to some of the other drones in the DJI line. It packs away really nicely, really cleanly, fits in a case, no problem. But even though it's so compact, it is super solid feeling. You hold this thing in your hand and there's just a lot of oomph to it. It doesn't feel flimsy, it doesn't feel cheap. And it's actually smaller than the DJI Mavic Air drones that went on to replace it, the Mavic Air 2 and the Mavic Air S2, 2S, S2, whatever it's called. But it's bigger than the DJI Mavic Mini line. So it's got that kind of sweet spot where it's just big enough and just heavy enough where wind won't throw you off that much, which is very important to consider when you're first starting out with drone piloting, but not too big where you can't pack it away and always have it in your backpack to get shots on the go. All right, so let's talk about features, because this thing has a ton of them. You want obstacle avoidance? This thing has got it. You want active track? You betcha. You want all those cool quick shot features where the drone will do the cinematic movements that you wanted to, like orbiting around you? You got that too. Which to me is a very important thing to highlight, because after this, DJI kind of broke the Mavic line into two things. You got the Mini and then you got the Air. What you got with the Mini is a much more watered down version of what you have here, and what the Air then went on to become was a much more pro line, right? You got your obstacle avoidance, you've got your nicer cameras, you've got all that kind of stuff, but at a higher price. And then if you got the Mini, you don't have obstacle avoidance. Yes, it's smaller and you don't need that kind of thing, but it's also probably a little bit harder to control when you're out and about in windy scenarios, right? So to me, this, the original Mavic Air, is that perfect sweet spot where DJI had it completely locked in. All right, so finally let's talk price, because this is where I think it gets really interesting and really kind of is the icing on the cake for the DJI Mavic Air. If today you are going to buy a DJI drone, you've never flown a drone before, or maybe you have a little bit of experience with the drone and you want to kind of get into a better quality drone, right? You don't have a ton of money to spend, but you do have enough where you can get a drone. You have two options. You get the Mavic Mini or the Mavic Air or the Mavic Air S2, right? And when you're making that choice, you're going to have to make sacrifices, right? If you go the Mini route, you're going to get a smaller drone, but you're not going to get the obstacle avoidance or the active track or any of those things that if you're newer to drone piloting are essential. Or you can go with the Mavic Air line, which you're going to get more features at a higher price. And that's going to be a higher price, which if you're just getting started with drone photography and videography, maybe this is something you're new to, might not be the best thing in the world for your wallet. Now, DJI doesn't sell the original Mavic Air anymore, which is kind of a bummer, but if you're buying on eBay and if you're buying from a reputable reseller, you're in good hands. Read the reviews, make sure that the products that they're giving you are up to good quality. There's no dings, dents, scratches. The person has good user ratings. You should be fine. And you should be getting it at a price that is lower than the current Mavic Air and the same price, if not just a little bit more expensive than the Mavic Mini. So why wouldn't you do that? You're getting more features at less or the same price than what you would otherwise get from DJI directly themselves. I think this is the best drone DJI ever made, full stop. I get why they split up the lines. They wanted a little bit something more cost effective to get you into the ecosystem and something a little bit more pro to kind of keep you there. That's fine, that's all good and well. For me, for the stuff I shoot, this is more than enough for now. And I think for you, for the stuff you're shooting, if you're just getting started, or maybe you want to take your videography and photography to the next level, is perfect for you as well. But let me know below. Do you have the Mavic Mini? Do you have the Mavic Air S2? Whatever you have, let me know down below. Take care of yourselves. We'll talk again real soon.